Sanmanani, Dumelang, Muluing, Kuyanan, hello, it's the Wednesday and we are back with another video. What are we doing today?
So Eugene Khoza went on podcast and chill, and
okay.
he had a few things to say about South Africans in general, and basically was saying that South Africans prioritize entertainment over the more important things like the economy and politics and all that stuff. Well, Limpopo didn't take too kindly to those words because he mentioned Abu Skomota, he mentioned Abu Shibishek. I don't know, if he stayed like that, but he mentioned those guys, and then because he mentioned those guys, Limpopo felt like he was hating on them. But let's just check out this clip here.
Okay.
And then you tell me what you think about what he said.
Transnet right now at the ports.
The ports are collapsing, man. Ports.
Power stations, the ESCOM, you've seen what's happening?
Messy.
SAA just uncovered now, Guti, there was big irregularities financially during the times that are delinquent. So we are fast asleep. It's almost like the things that make this country tick don't bother us. But as soon as you put a guy wearing white to white dancing in the bigger stage,
that matters.
Yeah, that matters, because we can even debate it here. We can even sit here and debate it.
Yeah.
Maybe you guys will even reach out and have him as a guest, but you will not interview.
That's what to same invite. Yes, son.
Hey, it was come on. No, it was come on.
Yeah, but you see the fact that
you're making valid points.
Yeah,
bro.
My point was to prove that we know a lot about nothing. But we don't know the names of the CEOs of all the major South African banks that were involved in this scandal for the last 8 years, who have now since resigned. We don't know their names. Skomota. We know that guy. Eh? Skomota. Yeah, we even know his name. Skomota. Like we know, but name one CEO of one of the major banks that was involved in the fixing of the rand or the rand manipulation saga that has made people lose their jobs, their businesses, their homes, their cars, their children's livelihoods.
Kill themselves, some.
Yeah. So name me one CEO that was involved in that malfeasance that got people here. No one will tell me.
So what do you think?
Facts though. Nobody is right. We are a very distracted nation, I'll be honest with you. Apart from conspiracy theory and all of that, we are very distracted. Nah? And like maybe there obviously are reasons behind that. I mean, it's easier to control a nation that is distracted and that's not worried or concerned about the right things, right? And I think that's why it's easy for our government to control us, because they know that they won't even know, or they'll get over it, in a matter of days if something happens, because our main attention, things that trend with us are gossip. Like, you see, gossip can trend for weeks. And not also saying in the same breath that we shouldn't have entertainment, but entertainment should not be the main focus all the time of everything. Like, no way. Like, life cannot be about that. It cannot be just about fun and games and laughs and everything. And literally, that's who we are.
So what do you think about Limpopo taking offense to what he's saying?
I feel like they just them taking offense is not really listening to what he's saying. It's just like, they're taking it, we're hating because now people in Limpopo are gaining fame or whatever. And look, I understand where they're coming from, because always in the media and in the limelight, it's always people from, Gauteng, KZN, Cape Town or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like they're crying about representation, and they're crying about, the people not being there. And that's why it was big milestones for them when, your Makhadzi was so big and people support in numbers. Limpopo are still in their excitement and their enjoyment of that. So it's almost like, now why do you guys want to call out entertainment when it's like, but I feel like they probably feeling like that.
Yeah, they probably do feel like that, but what he's saying isn't wrong, though.
What he's saying is definitely not wrong.
And that's the main point of like what I want this video to be about.
Yeah.
It's like, look, somebody, a fellow black person is telling us that no, we need to wake up.
We need to wake up.
We need to wake up and see what is happening around us.
What
do we do? We're making it about a tribal war now.
Exactly.
Now it's like Limpopos are being hated on.
Yeah.
So you see what the problem is now.
Yes.
we are so controlled, and
Yeah.
we are so controlled like to the T,
Absolutely.
that they know that even if people do shout for people to like wake up and see what's
Yes,
happening,
that is not gonna help.
we
It's
will
not
not.
gonna. Every week there's a new distraction. Like every week. Not so long there was the Two-Face. Then there was then there's these kids, and whatever. Then there was Dr. Matthew.
So for me, man, I like what Eugene did because it sparked a conversation amongst like
Yes.
people to like actually look back and consider good to know. Like, we actually do be focusing on a lot of bullshit
Yes.
and things that don't even matter that
Yes.
much. I'm not saying that doesn't matter. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that there are more important things that we should
They
be
are
worrying
definitely
about,
more important.
but we do not.
And we've got an election coming up like next year. What do we actually know? Do you know what? We know that we are unhappy with the ANC and whatever, but what do we actually know? Do you know of other things? Have we done the necessary assessments for knowing like who is even viable for next year to even vote for?
So everything is like that by design. And
Yes.
if you are like a critical enough thinker, if you critically analyze things,
Yeah.
and you think about how things work and everything
Yes.
like that, you see that everything is made like that by design.
By
To
design.
keep the population under control.
It's like we hypnotized.
Yeah. So I've seen a few videos floating around on the internet where like Europeans literally discuss how to manipulate their psychology of black people.
Yeah.
They literally have videos about that, like
Yes.
how to manipulate black people into doing certain things,
Yes.
to moving a certain way.
The secret of selling to the Negro is expressed in one word. That word is recognition. Now, there's nothing unusual about that. People want to be recognized. They need recognition. That's basic in all of us. But perhaps because he's had so little of it, the Negro needs even more. He needs to feel important and appreciated. This need is a very real and important one. It shows up even in many of the Negro's shopping habits. Anyone who sells or wants to sell to the Negro customer should know about some of these habits.
It's you liberals who have lifted them up, Howard.
Paul, you conservatives make a mistake. You can't afford to strangle hope in people. Without hope, people become dangerous.
No, Howard, you liberals have let them invade our society. You give them jobs, political jobs.
Paul, you missed the point. It's only the smart ones we move up.
That makes it even worse.
No, we have to move them up. If we leave a smart one in the ghetto, he might develop into a leader against us. But if we raise him up into white society, we neutralize him. He feels compelled to try to act like us. He loses his identity and his racial anger, if he has any. He becomes alien to his brothers. They realize he sold them out and they grow to hate him. He becomes worthless to them and safe for us. No, thank you. In fact, in his love for the creature comforts, except for his color, he's become one of us.
These guys have literally thought about like
to the
everything,
T,
all the details they
absolutely.
need to control like the
Yeah.
mass population of like black people specifically. And then when you see things play out the way they play out, when you see they've destroyed like the black family,
Yeah.
and the resulting of all of that, what
Absolutely.
degeneracy comes from all of that.
Yes.
They just figured out though, no, we just need to destroy the family, and
Absolutely.
everything else will fall apart.
Why are their families,
Always intact.
always intact? They still have their families growing stronger, finding ways to keep their families together and stuff like. Why? I mean, we are the ones that are just so messed up. Why are we the ones that think our men need to be thrown in the bin?
My thinking in all of this is that
It's-
the way they keep control of like
Yeah.
everything is to limit critical thinking.
Yes.
And how can you do that? Like you limit people from becoming critical thinkers.
Yeah.
So make education like as basic as
As
possible.
basic as
Like
possible.
you can pass without even being a critical thinker.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is just regurgitate what's in the books.
Yes.
You pass and
You
whatever.
memorize and you give
you
it-
don't even need to think about what you're doing.
Yeah, I
you
know.
There's many times where I'll finish an exam
Yeah.
and I don't even know what I actually did. I just copied what was in the textbook. and it's kind of bad.
Absolutely.
So it's limit critical thinking.
Yeah.
And also limit have less people educated. So
Yeah.
now the less people that are educated, the less critical thinkers there are. And then secondly, and the most important one, which is what we're seeing all over our society now, is intoxicate everybody.
Yeah.
South Africans specifically have this very big pandemic that we're not talking about.
Yeah.
Like most of us are alcoholics.
Alcohol.
And we've glorified that and we've made that like a part of our culture and our lifestyle, whatever.
To a point where we don't see life without alcohol. Like, it's strange. Like, life without alcohol is very strange. It's almost like you're being tortured.
Yeah.
Like, no, you know what I mean?
You need alcohol.
You need alcohol.
You've become an addict at that
point.
They've turned you into an addict. They've turned you into an alcoholic. So you can't think critically. Now you're addicted to something. You're an addict.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you're dependent on the government. The grants. Government, all they need to do is give you 350. 350.
Exactly.
Quiet. Anything they do after that, you cannot complain about it.
No.
You cannot try to vote them out because you depend on these people. So that now when you have all of this in place, and then now you have people who are like alcoholics, addicts, cannot think critically and depend on the
somebody's
government.
gonna have to think for you.
Now all you gotta do now is just whenever shit gets bad or whatever, whenever the stage 6 load shedding, give them a distraction.
Yeah.
Let something else happen, and then they start gossiping.
Yeah.
They start talking about entertainment.
Gossiping about that.
Yeah, they start talking about nothing.
They will ignore the stage 6 now.
Yeah, we'll complain for a bit, but nobody's actually gonna do anything about it.
Oh my gosh, like, it's so sad that we just really become.
So now we've become subdued as an entire nation. That's why governments are able to get away with like literal treason.
Yes.
Governments are able to do things that are
despicable things.
And nobody's gonna do anything about that. But yeah, I'm happy about the fact that Eugene actually like brought this conversation to light, and he said that no man, we must have platforms where people.
And I hope he doesn't get discouraged. Like, you must keep talking, and more people actually have this conversation.
But Limpopo wasn't happy, so Makhadzi called Podcast and Chill. Well, she sent Makhadzi a voice note saying that she wants to address him because now he's hating on Limpopo people, because now when it was KZN or when it was other people, nobody was saying shit, but now when it's Limpopo, now you're all hating.
Speaking about Makhadzi, fact checker, please play that voice note. She sent me a voice note. Make it 1.5, make it faster, ne? Like 1.5. This is what she said.
Hi, Kanazi. I think we shall put it. Honestly speaking, I don't know if maybe you have time from your broadcast. I just woke up now, but before I sleep, I was watching the broadcast. I'm your friend, by the way, so I watch broadcast. So I was watching this other broadcast. There was this other guy, Eugene Khoza. So I felt so offended when it comes to Stomota issue and everything. I feel like he was just throwing hate. He was just trying to play a smart game where he's putting facts at the same time putting a hate. So I don't know if you guys have a space for me to come to the broadcast, and because I want to address him, because I feel like he have a hate from Limpopo. Because summers have been happening. We've been watching a lot of people that are not talented on TV because of their money to pay PR. We've been watching summers with people that are performing CAG, but we never said anything. So that's because the people from Limpopo, they performed. Now there is questions. We are being asked why, how, for what. I feel like you need to be addressed. So if you have time, please call me so I can cover the broadcast. Because this guy, he's making points somewhere else to the other topics. But when it comes to Skomota issue, actually, I feel like he just came to that broadcast for that. Because of he even spent more than 10 minutes talking about one person. Because of he came there for that. I feel like you need to be addressed. That guy, your friend, whatever you.
I mean, we're using our minds, whether it happened then or whether it's happening now. Well, you can't ignore the fact that a lot of things have been happening. You know, leading up to this, there's many other things. It's not just Skomota who's trending and shit. Those are just examples of one of the big ones that he's putting out there. He's not being specific. He's just making an example. There's other distractions that I'm sure if he had the whole day or whatever, he could go through them and be like, this is also a distraction. This is also a distraction. So it's like, you can't do anything for someone who's honestly not trying to be critical, you know, in their thinking when you are even presenting. So just ignore. I feel like we should just ignore that, and there's nothing we can do. Then they're probably gonna jump on the train when they actually realize, this is not about them. This is not a personal thing. It's not a personal attack on Limpopo. We're happy for Limpopo, but it's like, come on, like, okay, yeah, so what? Is this what we must focus on as a country? Like, think about it now. Is this what we with everything going on, must we focus on music? Must we focus on dancing and whatever? Like, it's not a joyous time. It's not a time to celebrate. We have a lot to do first. Then maybe celebrate later. But all we want to do is celebrate. All we want to do is have a good time, even when it's a bad time. And it doesn't work like that. So if any one of us, if there's even one voice that is trying to wake us up, and let us do that. Let us wake up.
Most people agree that he is speaking facts.
Yeah.
Most people agree that we need to like start waking up. And
we need to start waking up. I feel like we're also guilty, né? Like, this situation of the rand manipulation is one of those that have actually made us feel very guilty about it. Like, I'm talking about people who actually think about the situation now. Like, are we really gonna let this go like that? Are we really gonna hop onto the next thing and start laughing and as if there's something to laugh about when so much has happened? And he was even explaining like a result of that. People have lost their jobs, their houses, their cars, their families. Like, a lot of bad has happened from this situation alone. Like, what are we doing about it? And we can't do anything about it because we're too busy thinking about the wrong things. We're too busy worried about the wrong things. Laughing. What's there to laugh about? What is there to laugh about? But if not, we are always concerned about the wrong things. All we know is nudity. We want to be naked, going in the clubs, dancing. Like, come on, man. We're just becoming worthless by the day. Like, our value is just decreasing by the day. Leave the fact that we as women are embracing that our value as women is decreasing. Look at other women around the world. Look at other women. And look at black women. Look at our value as women. Like, do we compare? Do you understand what I'm saying? When you're talking about a valuable woman, or like, do we compare? Like, it's just like really becoming sad. And then also our men, like black people combined, we are a mess. We are really at our weakest. I'm feeling, even in the times of slavery and times of apartheid, our people were intact, man. The dignity was intact, but now we're just a mess. All we care about is like, these numbing things like alcohol, partying, sex,
degeneracy, all that stuff.
Mess.
Yeah, it is what it is, but it's good that we're having these conversations now, and I hope they keep going. I hope people wake up more.
Absolutely.
We just talk about this more and more, and more people wake up to it.
So we can start introspecting. We can start looking at ourselves inside to know, man, is this right that I'm doing?
Yeah, but also the fact that we can also start like actually making a change in our society.
Absolutely.
Instead of just complaining and then moving.
Absolutely.
But yeah, you guys just let us know what you think about this whole situation.
Absolutely.
Don't forget to like, subscribe.
And keep watching. Goodbye.
We'll check you guys in the next one.